Hello, fellow kinda critics. Happy Labor Day. And today we are going to talk about Kin, the movie. And you're probably wondering why I'm not going to be talking about Searching. It was limited theaters, didn't feel like watching it. And of course, Brian randomly decided not to come back for this week, but he will come back next week. Don't worry about it, guys. It's a shame though because the only thing we'll be missing in Kin for this review is any jokes about a black kid adopted in a white family. But I'm glad we don't have those jokes right now because I really want to talk about Kin. It's a fantastic movie directed by Josh Baker, and to be honest, I'm a little upset, annoyed, and distraught. But not by the movie. No, 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 no. It's by what I call negative criticism that is unwarranted, as well as uh, something that just feels like we never get anymore. We never get genre mix-ups like we used to. I mean, don't believe me. I'm sure we've had a couple this year that have been fantastic films, well directed, well written. But I don't know why this movie I already know is not going to be on anyone's radar. I mean, frick, we still got Crazy Rich Asians in the movie theaters, which was a fantastic movie in my opinion. And I don't know why I just want to feel personal about this. It's insane. This movie is probably going to be an underrated movie from this year. This is ridiculous. Right now, Kin is at the box office. As I'm speaking today on Sunday, before Labor Day, is 11th at the box office with 3.1 million right now. I don't know if it's going to get any better. I doubt it, given the critical response for this. This was from the critical consensus for Rotten Tomatoes. Part family drama, part sci-fi adventure, Kin struggles to balance his narrative until a late twist that suggests it all might have worked better as the first episode of a TV series. 34%, yeah, holds an approval rating of 34%. Wow. I mean, and the people that are saying it's good, it's okay. They say it's okay. And I don't know. I don't know what after watching this, I still don't understand the jaded mistones of all of this. I mean, for God's sakes, we just had a couple of movies come out not long ago that have had these kind of similar themes. I mean, for one, I guess I'll bring up the big one in the room, Black Panther. In Afro-futuristic superhero movie with an all-black cast, fantastic. And just recently, we just had a love romantic movie drama with Hollywood production with the full Asian cast. This movie is talking about families that probably we don't think about. We don't talk about families that have an adopted child who's of a different race. They may be white or black or Asian, and with another black, white, or Asian family. Obviously, those things aren't really talked about. And yet this movie doesn't beat us in the head over it. These are characters. This is the first thing that they wanted to let us know, is that these are characters, and people might give strife for whatever reason on the background and everything. But I watch movies for movies, not race. I don't care. And as long as you can give me a good story with good characters, we're fine. We already got that spiel. So this was directed by Josh Baker. This was based on a short film by them known as The Bagman. And I just watched it actually a couple of minutes ago. Fantastic short film. 12 minutes. If you really watch this before you see Kin, you can see that this was Kin is a film that was made to create it was basically an hour and a half long of that movie, except more. And I thought this was fantastic. It was a good example of adapting something that was just a small concept, small idea for a small movie, for a small short film, and create a full Hollywood blockbuster kind of thing. And if you listen to interviews with the twin directors, they're actually twins. The idea they thought of is they did what they could with what they knew. Their producers Sean Levy, David Gross, they obviously enjoyed whatever they had. Their screenplay was by Daniel Casey, who I don't know, I haven't seen any of their credits. A couple of actors that you weren't expecting, but a pretty decent cast. Miles Truitt, Jack Reynard, Zoe Kravitz, Carrie Coon, Dennis Quaid, and of course James Franco. He's back. The Franco is back. But I don't know why this movie seems like a failure already. We just got movie like Upgrade. We and that was a pretty really good sci-fi action film that was basically bringing back those B sci-fi movies with lots of blood and exploitation in, but addressing a small message within within the guts and the guns. This movie is a much more pulled back movie. Pulled back. There's not too much blood, and yet they really talk about serious thematic things. In fact, I'm going to compare this once again to Logan, because this is essentially a road trip movie with dark undertones and also some sci-fi in it. So Kin is about this boy who is played by Miles Truitt, who finds this gun. It's a alien laser gun, and now and following some family drama with his ex-con brother, who's played by Jack Rayner, which is a good comeback, given his last decent role was from a Transformers movie. Okay, not decent. This is the only thing I remember him from. But I'm not gonna lie. They probably could have gave this role to anybody, but I think whatever he did with this, it worked well. And Dennis Quaid is their father. And okay, so he's a Miles Truitt adopted kid. He's black, and his family's white. There we go. And it just works. It works well. And anyways, so he finds this gun. Next thing you know, they're in this crazy road trip where they're escaping police, a vengeful criminal played by James Franco, and basically the aliens that kind of want their gun back. Once again, District 9, but in Detroit. It is crazy. The plot, the storyline, it just culminates into this feel-good road trip movie. And I kind of want to I want to be upset too for the marketing. Lionsgate took this project and is the studio responsible for it. I don't know. This movie was. I feel like the trailer really did tell you what it wanted to tell you. Road trip movie, but there's an alien gun. I think it really the parallels of that were underlined. It never went straight too far into the sci-fi mythos. In fact, it kept you more curious. Like, you wanted to know more about this gun, what's going on, who are these aliens that are following them, and basically these aliens are like discount Master Chiefs. They're in like these full body gear helmets. It's kind of badass, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, and they're just in this road trip where they're running away from, James Franco, the somewhat actually intimidating crime lord, who I really did like. I actually digged his role in this, and they did give him plenty of screen time, and I think he was really invested in this character. Everyone in this did a fantastic job. We even get, the hooker with the heart of gold, not a hooker, stripper with a heart of gold, Zoe Kravitz, who's lovely. I actually liked her character in this. And I don't know, we just get these familiar characters, these familiar themes, and it just works because it blends in this sci-fi undertone that never really tries to penetrate the rest of what this movie matters. And it's about family. Jonathan and Josh Baker, I just want to applaud you guys. You guys made a fantastic movie about brotherhood, about family, and then just threw some sci-fi wrench in there. And it works. And it really does harken back to times where we don't have movies like this anymore. We don't have movies that have subtle sci-fi or maybe like genre mix-ups like these. The thing I could compare this to, and I don't want this to sound pretentious, but I could compare this to E.T. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll compare this to E.T. A little less alien, a little more grounded, but hell yeah. This was road trip E.T., except replace this lovable little psychic alien with a assault rifle, essentially. This thing does some damage, and I don't know. I think what they did with this is they wrote what they knew, they directed what they knew, and I just feel like this film wasn't it never had an uneven tone. I feel like it knew what it was trying to talk to you about, and it never dumbed anything down for anyone. Not for whoever was watching this, not for themselves, not for the studio that was funding this. They made their movie the way they made it, and it was a complete arc. Everyone had a different arc. Everyone had a job to do, and they pulled it off. I don't know what the problem with this movie is. I really want to know what I can criticize this movie for. I really digged it. I dig Miles Truitt, who's only been in TV things, but he's really killing it in this one. I loved it. Jack Rayner he was a likable asshole, criminal thief brother guy, and he's so chill, and I think his likability comes from how much he's dealing with, especially what he did. Dennis Quaid as the father, oh my god. And for the little screen time he had, he made a big impact in this story. And once again, James Franco, do not miss his performance as an unhinged, um, what do you call it, crime lord. I don't know. I was awestruck by how much I like this movie, and yet also jaded by how much I feel like nobody's gonna waste their time with this movie. It's a shame. I love this. I came into the theater happy. I didn't come in the theater unhappy, unentertained, bored, and that's a lot to say considering this year hasn't been a really good time for movies. We get a lot of franchise and sequels, barely any original films, unless you're in the indie scene, which of course we are not, unfortunately. We don't want to drive all the way just to see a movie like that. But I'm telling you right now, I need people to watch this. I feel like a lot of work and production went into this. A lot of it was well shot too. There was no problems with that either. And when they did use some kind of CGI and it worked well with the practical effects, and it just made everything feel so grounded. Because at the end of the day, it may feel like a boy and a laser gun, but it's more than that. And I think that's what they were trying to highlight is that and the way they balanced it, it worked very well for itself. And I don't know, I just really liked this kind of movie. 5 stars out of 6. The only problems I may have had with this is there is kind of an ending that will split people down the middle. I feel like it's a bit of an ex machina, and it kind of throws itself into a sequel, which of course I feel like was a little ham-fisted. But I think it worked well for what the story it was trying to end with, and I liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to this. I really hope this does better, but I doubt it. This is just another upgrade story where people are going to barely listen to this review because they probably don't want to see this movie. They're going to go see Crazy Rich Asians. That's still in the movie theaters, and maybe searching because everyone's talking about how amazing this movie is. Underrated movie. Go see it, please.